And the guest from China, the chairman from NDRC, Mr. He Lifeng, Minister Zhong Shen from MOFCOM, and the provincial governor of Jilin, Mr. Jing Junhai, and the vice chairman, Mr. Shinzo from CCPIT, and President Zhang Yujing from China Electromechanical Chamber of Commerce, and board chairman, Mr. Chang Zhenming from CITIC. And we also have the officials from the government of both sides, and also have the representative from the institute, organizations, and friends of the media. Welcome you all. Now, please allow me to invite the chairman of NDRC, Mr. He Lifeng, to give the opening speech. The distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. In this beautiful season of October in Beijing, we are right now here gathering at the Great Hall of the People to attend the first China-Japan Third-Party Market Cooperation Forum. On behalf of NDRC, I would like to extend a warm welcome to guests from Japan. The leaders from both sides attach great importance on the cooperation in third-party marketplace. And the President Xi Jinping, when he met with the Prime Minister Abe, said the cooperation in the third party by both sides will open a new chapter for our bilateral ties. In May this year, during the visit made by Premier Li, and both sides reached the agreement on the third-party market cooperation, and also witnessed a series of agreements signed by the MOFCOM and the Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry of Japan. And this morning, Premier Li Keqiang and the Prime Minister Shinzo Abe will also attend the meeting and give the remarks. This is really conducive to the bilateral ties to develop in a healthy, sustained, and sound way, and it's also a great platform to exchange views and learn from each other, and also conducive to the Asia-Pacific and the world at large. The two leaders with the foresight to reach agreement on the cooperation in third-party markets. I believe this is a guideline for the future cooperation. This is with significant positions. Right now, the world economy is recovering, but in a slow speed. The trade protectionism is on the rise. China and Japan, as the major economies, we should work together to conduct our cooperation, which will be a driving force for the global recovery and conducive to the world economy recovery. And this also showcase our two sides will uphold the free trade mechanism and multilateralism. I believe we will leverage our advantages from our own sides based on our highly complementary features of both sides. I believe our cooperation in the third marketplace will strengthen our respective advantages based on the mutual trust and the mutual benefit. We will play a better role and to achieve the 1+1 bigger than 3 effect. I believe we have a great future in our cooperation in the third parties, the Asia, Latin America. They have larger needs in the infrastructure construction. So China and Japan, we can conduct our cooperation in energy efficiency, environment management. So today, with both sides, we will sign more than 50 agreements in third-party cooperation, which also showcase our willingness and strong decisiveness. So our cooperation in the third-party market will also benefit multiple sides. So let's, based on the principle of massive consultation, construction, and sharing, and we'll also stick to the development philosophy in the green manner. So we should, of course, safeguard the logistic interests of the both sides and also the enterprises from both sides to achieve the win-win cooperation. Ladies and gentlemen, for your friends. So a 1,000 miles start with the first step. So our cooperation in the third party, with the related organizations, we should lay out our working mechanisms. So the enterprises from both sides working on the Thailand railway, the smart city building, all these major projects actually reach an initial agreement. The cooperation in the third market, I believe that will be our solid first step. President Xi Jinping mentioned that China is ready to work with Japan to promote regional integration, uphold multilateralism, and safeguard multilateral trading system, and also uphold the WTO. Premier Li Keqiang mentioned that China and Japan should leverage our own advantages and find the potentials in the third market, so we can achieve win-win cooperation in a wider space. So in order to implement the agreement reached by the two sides, there are 4 suggestions. So we should build our mechanism so that will lay the solid foundation in terms of building the framework. So that will also play as a guide role for all our corporations in enterprise level. Second, we should let the enterprises play a leading role. So we should support our enterprises to build a partnership in the third party markets, so that we can together to explore the market potentials in the third country, and also encourage our enterprises, financial institutions to conduct industrial plus finance cooperation in a deeper manner, so we can better share our resources and also leverage our complementary advantages. So China and Japan are larger countries. We have a large influence in trade and economic cooperation. So we should respect the relevant countries' interests and willingness. We should work together to get the third party's great support on our joint projects. The two countries will work together in the smart city constructions and also the electrical corporations. We should emphasize our corporations and find more cooperation potentials and also find more areas for corporations, such as the green projects, and also work in an innovative way, and also had a new model to conduct our cooperation in the third-party market. Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, this year marks China's 40 years anniversary of China's reform and opening up, and also the 40th anniversary of signing the China-Japan Treaty of Friendship and Peace. So with the great support from the both governments, I believe the enterprises, the institutions will work together to explore and find our third market operation, and that will be a new highlight to promote the bilateral ties and also leverage our cooperation to a higher level, with a great success for our cooperation. Thank you. Thank you, Chairman He Lifeng. Now let's welcome Minister Shirosuke Seko, the Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry, to give an opening speech.
開催準備を進めていただいた中国商務部と国家発展改革委員会、また共催いただいている中国の秘伝商会と商法商会、そして日本の経済圏と日中景況の皆様に対して心から御礼を申し上げます。日中関係はまさに競争から協調への転換期にあります。このフォーラムはそうした日中経済協力の新たなスタートとなるものであります。今年5月の日中首脳会談の際に、私を含めた日中関係4大臣が第三国における日中民間経済協力に関する覚書を締結し、日中第三国市場協力フォーラムの設立運営に合意をいたしました。経済産業省としては、中国側との連携のもと、日本の経済界の方々にこのフォーラムの意義を精力的に説明してまいりました。本日のフォーラムには日中合わせて3名をはるかに超える企業関係者に参加をいただいております。
Japan and China will conduct a pragmatic cooperation, and I see a lot of actually the participants all have shared aspirations. We have more than 50 government officials and also the high-level executives from the organizations. I believe this is really the high-level leadership from Japan's side to attend the forum. So that also showcase that the Japan side attach great importance in our cooperation with China in the third-party market. We would like to conduct our cooperation in a sustained, sound, and friendly way. So let's explore the market potential in the third-party nation. So we should work in a transparent way in terms of financial economic cooperation, which will lay the solid foundation for our successful cooperation. So we will conduct a high-quality economic and trade activities. For our enterprises, we should make our cooperation as a win-win cooperation. Both sides attach great importance on our cooperation. So that's a great start, and we will also consider today's forum as a good way to start our cooperation, and our government will support us. So in terms of logistic, infrastructure, IT, and other areas, we would like to conduct our cooperation. Japan and China should promote our political trust, and we should also find more room for our cooperation in the third-party marketplace, so we can seize more opportunities for both sides. So the forum today will also focus on transportation, infrastructure, construction, and also the third-party markets development. We not only need government support, we also need the working groups. So the CCPIT from China side and also the Kindane from Japan to work closely. And we should also establish our communication mechanism to facilitate our cooperation in an easier and smooth way. There are great potential in third market. And we believe that's also a new starting point for our international cooperation. we believe we will have a great progress in the third market cooperation. Thank you. Thank you very much. Now let's welcome Minister Zhong Shen from MOFCOM, China, to give an opening speech. Distinguished Mr. Hiroshige Seko, and this Mr. Chairman He Lifeng, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends. With the concerted efforts of both sides, the first China-Japan third-party cooperation forum kick off here in Beijing. On behalf of MOFCOM, I would like to extend a warm welcome to all the friends from home and abroad, and also would like to appreciate the great help from Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry and the Foreign Ministry of Japan. Thank you so much for your great support. China and Japan, with highly complementary advantage, I believe we have a great foundation to conduct our cooperation. So under the Belt and Road Initiative, President Xi Jinping and Prime Minister Shinzo Abe achieved a great consensus in terms of our cooperation. This May, during the visit made by Premier Li, both sides signed the memorandum in terms of third-party market cooperation. That will also help us to initiate our concrete actions under those documents. So let's exchange our views in an open and candid way to further promote our cooperation. Ladies and gentlemen, this year marks the 40th anniversary of signing the China-Japan Treaty of Peace and Friendship. China and Japan make our ties develop in a normal way. Talking about improving and developing our bilateral ties, this is a crucial juncture. I believe our cooperation in the third-party market coming at the right time. There's a bright future waiting in front of us. Which also embark a new path for our bilateral cooperation. I sincerely believe that our cooperation in the third party not only benefit our two countries, but also will bring the benefits to our neighbors as well as the third nation. We also believe that the prosperity in our region will play a stabilizer for the global economy. On behalf of MOFCOM, I would like to state the following suggestions. Number one, we should make our cooperation in a more innovative and practical way. So we should let the government play a leading role, and also based on the principle of mutual trust and mutual benefit. Let's prioritize our third-party market cooperation and emphasize the key areas for our cooperation. We discuss the third market cooperation. It's also under the discussion by both sides. we talk about that should start from our neighbors. We can work on infrastructure construction, emerging industry, international logistics, environmental management, regional development. So we should respect the third nation and also abide by the rules and the laws as well as regulations. And we should initiate the projects and start our actions. And second, we should elect the policies to facilitate our cooperation, and we should also conduct more trade and economic cooperation. We should also encourage our enterprises to conduct cooperation in the third-party marketplace. And we should establish the industrial park. And we should also work with the hosting countries to strengthen their manufacturing capability. And we should also work with the hosting country to cultivate the new driving force. And we should also utilize our advantages to improve the efficiency in terms of logistics in the third-party market. And we should also establish our mechanism. Center. So we can conduct workshop forums to lay solid foundation for both sides for the further cooperation, and we should also establish the early warning mechanism to make sure our cooperation in a smooth and successful way. Today, the forum, it is the first forum in China-Japan third-party market cooperation. I hope the enterprises from both sides can have more cooperation and exchanges to actively promote our cooperation and achieve a fruitful way. And I wish the first China-Japan third-party market cooperation forum a successful one. Thank you. Thank you so much for Mr. Zhongshan. And will be a 15-minute tea break.